Today, I'm gonna be telling you why the cost system really shouldn't be the only method of judging DPSs going forward. I should have done this in early 3.x since it was already becoming an issue, but I was waiting for it to truly become a problem. As the person behind why clears are labeled with X cost their cycle on YouTube, I hold the responsibility to set things right. But before that, let me introduce you to the best platform for recharging Stellar Jades, LD Shop. On LD Shop, you can purchase Stellar Jades at an extremely cheap rate compared to in-game. Using LD Shop, you can save up to 33% or even more when recharging your Honkai Star Rail account. Today, I'll be buying this Jade pack that only costs $39.35 compared to the in-game price of $50. All you need to do is give LD Shop your account UID and region, send your payment, and the Stellar Jades will be sent straight to your account in less than a minute. On top of that, if you recharge up to $80 in a month, you can get a supply pass for free straight from the website, which can be treated as another $5 discount on any purchase. Even if you use VPN method, you can never get a cheaper price than LD Shop with the free supply pass. There's no reason to not use this website. People who say there are risks to doing this are complete idiots that don't know how it works. I swear on my channel's integrity that you will not be banned or scammed. Don't forget to register using my link in the description for an extra 15% off coupon. I hope you would recharge on this website after registering using my link because that's the best way to support my channel as YouTube's ad revenue is genuinely horrendous. I want to preface this by saying the cost system didn't suddenly become unusable. It's still the best guideline for finding the best DPS to use on any given boss. It is also pretty reliable for seeing what to pull first when investing in a team, although this can have errors in very specific situations, so it's not 100% accurate. Like on Pull-X, where the best team for any given character is Casterus, Hyacine, RMC, as that will always produce the lowest cost clear, whether it's 2 cost for a 4-star or 3 cost for a 5-star. That's an issue since that's never been the best team for everyone in literally every other scenario. That tangent aside, when it comes to objectively judging DPSs though, there's 2 problems I have with it. The first actually being showcased in the aforementioned scenario. Anyways, for the 2 main reasons why the cost system isn't the be-all end-all to discussions about DPS strength after 3.x, it's consistency and congruency. Starting from early 3.x, the shield has ramped up significantly in endgame. There'll never be one DPS that is the best in every MOC node anymore. An example of this happening is the fact that in early 3.x, the Herta was shown to be better than Uglia and Facial in MOC by some bosses when that obviously was false. Another example is Finan, the poster boy of getting countered if the mechanic either doesn't shield him or isn't a damage check. This is because he is alone and will never have any friends to help him with unfavorable matchups, nor does he have any player agency. Hell, on Nicanor even Arlen can match him. I'm not even going to use Pollux as a main point despite Arlen clowning on Finan there without Wheelchair because it's the worst boss for measuring DPSs in general, which really emphasized this consistency issue with the cost system. As for the congruency issue, the most blatant example is Evernight and Casterus. Despite Evernight appearing to be better at low cost due to RMC costing less and doing about the same as a E0S0 Casterus, it is absolutely foolish to solely invest in Evernight. It's a congruency issue because at around 8 cost or so, Casterus' mono rem just outperforms Evernight's DPS, meaning better at lower cost doesn't mean shit anymore in some situations. With E0S0 Casterus' global passive being timeless and evergreen, it is assumed you already have her if you're serious about min-maxing, so it makes even less sense to not invest into her with 1 cost literally already invested. As for why the passive is considered broken, it's because it's legit used in a lot of strategies for min-maxing, while also being a huge QOL improvement. Any global passive would be this ridiculous most likely. Some may argue they won't go to that cost bracket and to just pull E0 S0 casters while investing into low-cost Evernights. That's an option but not a future-proof one. The cost system is made to find teams to invest in and chart the best path of investment. Future-proofing is in its blood. I don't recommend anyone actually make accounts based solely in low-costing contents. It's kinda stupid because you're gonna be locked out of truly maxing out everything like getting diamond border from AA. Extreme low costing should only be done in private servers with the data being used to dictate what to do on your main at a higher cost bracket. If you want to stay at low cost, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. It is a pointless endeavor on live servers. Another example of congruency issue is once again Finan, despite being seemingly better at low cost and being extremely selfish in his investment to the point where you can't pass any cost down when you swap DPSs. He is in fact not that good at high cost, losing to DOT next AA plights and getting clowned on by Mono Rem in AA. The cost system was used to judge DPS ceiling on the boss, but as you can see for this DPS, it fails completely at that, since its ceiling is objectively lower, being a DPS of lower player agency to start with. All of this means his feats are pretty much irrelevant bullshit. People try to use his low-cost feats against my judgment of him being weak, but they don't understand that he's the main representation for the two biggest glaring issues of the cost system, and why it's seemingly not that reliable anymore. Neither consistency nor congruency were an issue in 2.x and especially 1.x, back when the game was simpler and when Zila ruled the world. Zila was straight up the best on every single boss in 1.x, being able to zero cycle with only one 4-star on her team at E0S0. Then going into 2.x, she one-cost zero cycled pretty much everything except one specific boss out of literally dozens. There's already minor cracks, but it's negligible at that point and we'll get an accurate reading by taking the average regardless. This is the same when Facial released. Facial became objectively the best MLC DPS except against 5 target shared HP enemy, where she was only 1 cost behind Acheron. There also wasn't a congruency issue in 2.x. Stronger at low cost did in fact translate to being stronger at high cost, because we didn't have ridiculous gaps in terms of vertical investment between teams. And if there's good increases with Idolins, it's usually balanced out by a horrendous kit like Firefly. Zila proved this concept too, by 0AVing a pure damage check boss at a lower cost than any DPS in the game prior to Facial's release, meaning her low cost strength did in fact directly translate to high cost because said clear was done in a high cost bracket of almost 20, which means E6s are involved. You might be wondering why the cost system suddenly gained these problems that weren't there previously. And honestly, my best theory is that Hoyoverse has taken notice to how people judge units based on it. As in Adaptive Corporation, their best bets is to go with the flow and make new strategies to rug pull people by seemingly making units look good through the cost system despite their obvious flaws. That's not really an issue if we don't get tunnel vision by the cost system and instead judge units with their overall value with nuances and a holistic view. Stuff like legacy, as in what can be passed down, alongside out of combat value, and the opportunity costs regarding what supports they use, all of these have to be factored in too. Beyond all that, player agency is the best way to tell whether a unit will age well or not. Look at how long Zila and Facial lasted. It's all about the player agency. This is one factor that Hoyoverse cannot go against no matter how hard they try. All in all, the cost system is obviously not obsolete. It's still pretty good as long as you add some context. That's all for today, and I'll see you in the next one.